Hello there, crafters, and Happy New Year! We today, as I'm filming this is actually the day after New Year's. We're on January 2nd, and I hope you had a great New Year's Eve celebration. We had lots of friends and family stay over, and it was so much fun. But now it's time to get back at it. So I am going to show you, I'm doing a pretty detailed card today. So this video could get long, but it's something that I'm really excited about with products from the new catalog. And without further ado, let me show you the card. I am calling it a Slimline Gatefold Cube card. How's that for a long name? And I made this for a challenge with my upline, Linda Bowen. And so I'm excited to show you guys how I did it. It's hard to get the full effect with it standing up, being on camera, but you can see that it has some cubes, and I am going to change a few things on here. So let's get going. First off, I want to note that this is from the storybook. Let's see. I don't know what the whole suite is called. The Storybook Moments Suite. And I can show it to you because I'm probably not going to make this video live until after the book goes live. So this suite is so large that it takes up 6 pages in the new catalog. Starts with the storybook garden patch, stamp set and die cuts, and then we have the storybook friends stamp set and die cuts. And then we've got this really pretty petal pink ribbon, and it's called scalloped, petal pink scalloped ribbon. Then these antique pearls. And then here is the 2 packets of paper it comes with. These plaid papers are 6 by 6. And these 12 by 12 have specialty sheets where there are 2 sheets of this one, and it's all die cuts, which you'll see some of those in just a few minutes, but the rest of these are 2-sided papers, two of each 2-sided papers. So it's huge, and there are lots of examples on using it on our catalog, in our catalog. So pretty big suite, pretty awesome suite. Of course, it reminds you of Peter Cottontail from my childhood anyway. But okay, again, this is the card we're making. And let's get going. I started, now you're going to need 12 by 12 cardstock for this because the base is 8.5 by 11 1/4. And then I scored it at 1 7/8, 3 3/4, 7.5, and 9 3/8. So you can make this smaller and use 8.5 by 11. You just have to change your score lines, and in the end your card won't be it will be smaller. The width will be smaller. This one measures 3 3/4 by 8.5, and it fits right into a number 10 envelope. So of course, the one thing I really love about this card is, even though it's a smaller slimline card when it's folded, it is grandiose when it's open. It would look really good sitting on a shelf in your recipient's house. So okay, so I started here, And then I took a beautiful piece of this Storybook Friends paper. It's Storybook Moments paper, I think. Let me look. Yeah, this paper is Storybook Moments. Sorry, it's all coordinated, but sometimes I don't get all the names of each thing right. So all I did was put that in the center. And then I have 4 pieces of 1 5/8 by 8 1/4 strips. So this is a different piece of the paper. It has little chipmunks on the back, but on this card I used the strawberry one because I just love how vibrant those strawberries are with that blue background. But I changed it up here for this card. So we're just going to put those strips on. Kind of boring watching me glue down strips, but a lot of times I give you guys the bases of the cards, so you just get the premise of how I made the base, and then, you know, we all decorate our cards differently. So I just figured that you need the base, but this one was so in-depth. I wanted to make sure that I did a video on it. I hope most of you are enjoying a very long vacation time, holiday. That's the word I was looking for. My words aren't, I'm overwhelmed with all of the pieces, I guess. I don't know, my words aren't coming out very well. But anyhow, I know my husband had a long break from work. He goes back tomorrow. So he has really enjoyed this break. Quite a few of my friends are on a long break this holiday season too, so that's nice. And we have had some decent weather here in Illinois recently, but I understand that it's getting ready to be not so decent here soon. Okay, so there's our base. Now I have a 3.5 by 11 piece of old olive cardstock that is scored at 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. Okay, and then all I did was take my Nested Essential dies, and I used the second from the inside square to cut a square rectangle out of one of the areas here. And I did it so your smallest score area is here, and I did it 2 boxes up from that, because when I make my cube I want to put my edge on the back because it's going to go against the back of the card so that you can't see it. So let's go ahead and do that. And I use tear and tape for this part because I like something really strong. And I know the whole point of tear and tape is to tear it, but I don't know. I have this thing about having clean edges and not having the backing peel off. My dog is snoring in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. That's funny. Okay. So I just take the backing off. Yeah, that's nice, and you don't have fingernails. How about take your pick tool. There we go. Okay. And all I do is fold that over, fold the flap. Because I seal it when it's flat because then I know it will fold flat for me. Okay, so we are going to, we want this to go right at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to line this up with my DSP. I'm going to fold it flat and line it up just like that. But again, I want tear and tape on the back because I want it to be solid. So that's what we're going to do. As soon as I find the edge of my tear and tape. Again, nice and secure. You don't want this to move other than where it's supposed to on the card. Okay. All right, and see my flap here is at the bottom. Not that that matters, you're not going to see anything anyway. Okay, just press that down, give it a good press, and now, ta-da! Okay, now our next box is our cube. It's 2.5 by 7.5, and I scored it at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and 7. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add some tear and tape on the skinnier section. We have tear and tape backing all over my desk. Get rid of this mess over here. Okay. And again, I'm going to fold it over nice and flat. I want it to be able to go both ways nice and flat. Okay, now here's our flap. I'm going to add tear and tape again to this section. Okay, and we're going to stick that down. Okay, and this is the section I want up against my box. So here's the flap. Flip it. Try to get it even on both sides with the top box. Okay, so now we got two separate boxes, but I want them to adhere together. So I'm going to add tear and tape across here. I love this stuff. I go through this a lot. It is not forgiving though, so if you need something that you can peel off with your little spatula, I use my little spatula to fix my mistakes quite a bit. Tear and tape is going to take the your paper along with it when you try to peel it off, so make sure that you're certain where it's going to go. And now that I've said that, I hope I didn't just jinx myself while doing this project. So yeah, We're card makers, we're crafters. We just never know how that's gonna go, huh? Okay, so now we have our 2 boxes together. And see, you know what I didn't do? Do as I say, not as I do. We want to put some little critters inside these boxes, and I should have done that prior to gluing this on, and I didn't. So here we go. We're gonna attempt to do this with the box together. So before you glue your big box onto your card, make sure that your critters are inside the box. So I have 2 bunnies. This bunny is a die cut out of the paper. This bunny I fussy cut with my scissors out of the paper. So I am going to I have 2 strips that are 1/2 by 6 inch, and they're scored at 1/2, 2 1/4, 3 1/4, and 5. Okay, and we're just going to make we're going to make cubes out of these too. And I am going to use my tear and tape here too. Even though it's just a small section, I want these cubes to stay together very well. And the same thing we just did with the big cubes, we're going to do here. Okay, so we have this little rectangle. And this is one thing that I changed on this card from the other card. That's something that I learned. But okay, so now we want these edges to go in the back. And I can already see that. Oh no, okay, I thought they were different. So we want these edges to stick to the back of our cube and to the bottom of our cube, which is, I changed it. If you look in here, I just use little squares. And what happens on this is when I fold the card up, and then I go to bring it out, these little guys fall forward. And I don't want them forward, I want them to stand up. So I've made these little mechanisms so that my bunnies will stand up better. So I want tear and tape on the back and the bottom of these so that I can put them inside the cubes and then add my bunnies. Okay, again, I should have done that before I put this cube on, but because I changed that, I forgot about it. So let's get some tear and tape on the back and the bottom of these. You know, you learned by making a prototype, you learn the things that you want to change. Tear and tape on the back. Okay, and then I am going to want, I think I'm gonna flip these so that you won't be able to see those behind the critters. Okay, so there's the backs, and then I'm gonna flip these over, and this long section is my bottom of my cube, so I want tear and tape on those so that they stick to the bottom of my cube. Okay, Okay, see here? So we have stick to the back, and then stick to the bottom. And same ones. Now on this front section is going to be where I add my bunnies. So I'm going to go ahead and place tear and tape on those too. So we have tear and tape. I guess it's easier to say. You have tear and tape on 3 sides of this cube. I left one side with no tear and tape because you don't want that to stick to the top of your cube. Okay? When I put these inside the cube, I'm going to have to be extremely careful. So let's move our bunnies. Since I goofed this up, because I want these to go, I think I'll stick them on the bottom first. So let's take the tear, I hope I can see that, to have that in. Let's take the tear and tape off of the bottom. Okay, the bottom. Where can I see my bunny? There we go. It's on the bottom. Because this is going to stand our bunnies up. Okay, so those are on the bottom. Now I gotta adhere them to the back. So I want to take the tear and tape off of the back with my pick tool. See, don't do like I do. Make sure that you do this when you're making your cube. It will make your life a whole lot easier. Okay, now we're closing. Ta-da! See how they pop up now? Now this is going to hold our bunnies up. So don't drop your bunny. Should have brought my tweezers over here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This just solidifies the fact that we're all human, right? Oh, that's so much better. I like these bunnies so much better. Perfecto. Okay. Digging it, right? That worked. Thank God. I'm not live, but I'm not good at editing videos, so you guys are kind of stuck with that fact. Okay, and here, we look on our other card, I added one of the frames from the die cuts from the Storybook Friends here. So we are going to add that next. And on that, I used my fine tip glue pen because you don't want glue everywhere. You just want it in between these little swirls. So I have my Tombow glue in a fine tip glue bottle. So we're just going to add a little glue there. All right. And that will go right. Oh, get glue everywhere. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Okay. There's that. Now let's see if I can get the glue. Well, you know, it's not crafting if it's not a mess, I guess. I don't know. Anyhow. Okay, so next step. I have these little dirt hills that are from the Storybook Garden Patch dies, and they're here. I've cut them out of pecan pie, and I am going to change this one up on this card, but we're going to put this one on, and we're going to add our little greens. So this cube behind this big dirt patch is our 3/8 cube. So that's this. It's 1 1/4 by 1 7/8, scored at 3/8, 3/4, 1 1/8, and 1 1/2. Okay. Again, we're going to make the cube. We're just going to put some tear tape on that, just on one of the sides. All the sides are the same, so just do that on one of the sides. And again, I'm going to lay it flat and then fold this over. So see how that works. And now again, we want tear tape on two sides of this because we want it to go on the bottom and on the back. So tear tape. All right. Okay, so I'm folding this. There's tear tape on the bottom on those. Okay, I'm gonna stick that between these two. Okay, try not to get my head in the way. And I'm trying to center it, but that dirt patch is going to block whether that's centered or not. So centering that is not of big importance. But here's my dirt patch, and before I add my dirt patch, I want to add my vegetable tops, okay, so that they're planted in the dirt. And I have fussy cut with my snips 2 of these. This used to have 3 beets on it, but it wouldn't fit in this slot, so let's get those in here. And I want my carrot top to stick up a little bit out of the dirt here, so I'm just going to use my glue and move that where I want it. Okay, so my carrot top shows. And then I'm going to place my beets. My used to be plural beets and is now 1 beet. And I cut this because I wanted my edges of my leaves to hang over that slit. But this is just a really cool thing about this die. I like that you can you can plant your garden. How fun is that, right? Okay, so now that our garden is planted and set, we are going to add it just to that little cube. I might make mine a hair shorter. I think I'm going to take just a smidge off of here. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so all we want glue on is this section of this cube, because otherwise if you put tear and tape, I could have tear and taped that too, but if you have it over the edges, it'll stick to the backing. And I'm just trying to center that a little bit. I always push this down flat to make sure that it's gonna mail flat, okay? Sorry, that's one of my dogs. He's a big snorer. My little guy, not so much, but my Aussie Pom is something else. Okay, now on this card, I had fussy cut some peppers and some gloves out of the paper. For our card here, I'm using some of the die cuts again from the die cut sheet, and we're just gonna glue those on. I love that watering can, that's fun. Okay, some watering cans and some seed packets. So just get a little bit of glue on, and I only want glue on the edges because they're gonna go over the edge there. So I think Rascal had a hard night the way that he's sleeping. Goodness. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that on the camera or not, but that's pretty funny. Usually they sit by the door because I've locked them in my craft room so they can't bark at things out the window. Okay, you see that now? See how that, you can see all the pieces in here. Pretty cool, right? Make sure that I don't have glue where I shouldn't have glue. And I usually, when I'm making a card like this, if there are sticky spots, I go back with my embossing buddy and I powder it so that it doesn't stick. But okay, I think I've got that. And now, okay, so now we want to make this square for the top and add another little critter there. And I have cut this little guy that's reading next to the tree stump, again out of the paper. And we have another cube we're gonna make. And this one is 1 by 2.5, and it's scored at half, 1, 1.5, and 2. Okay. I hope that's not too distracting with him snoring back there. It's pretty funny to me actually, because you know, I attempted to shut them in thinking that I was going to control the noise, and the noise is not controlled. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Okay, my camera. Sorry, it's almost like watching somebody color. It just gets quiet. Okay. And again, because we're putting a cube on top, we're going to go add tear and tape to the top and the bottom of my cube. I'm sorry, not the top and the bottom and the back of where my cube is going to go. And that is the bottom. So I'm going to lay it there and then close the card so it sticks where I want it. Okay. And now I'm taking the backing off. Do that again. And now all 3 cubes are set. Oh, it's stuck too high and it's pulling it up. See, now you get to see me take the tool. Spatula to the rescue. Here we go. It's having an issue. How about some new tear and tape? Oh, I think I know what I did here. It's stuck wrong. Good grief. Okay. The cube is stuck. I got lucky there, didn't I? That tear and tape came off. Do it again. I think I'll use glue this time. That way I can move it around. Let's try that. That one's kind of tedious. Put tear and tape on the bottom of both. I'm sorry, tear and tape. Glue. Okay. Stick it right there. And close my cubes. That's the other thing about using glue. You have to wait a little bit. It doesn't like me today. It's being naughty. There. All right. Now we're cooking. Okay. It needed some adjustment. Okay, and now we're going to take this cute little reading buddy and we're going to put him there. And I'm just going to put glue on the bottom of the die cut because I don't want glue where I don't want it on there, if that makes sense. So this is the bottom. Okay. Yep. All right. And then one last thing, or no, it's not one last thing. I guess I have a couple of things to do, but so I decided to go without this dirt pile, and I am using this adorable die cut fence. Again, from the package of the die cuts. I thought that would be really cute here. So that's what I'm going to do instead on this card. And I'm just going to glue, I don't know what side of the fence. One looks like it's kind of, I think we'll go with that. There's an edging on this side, and I think I'm going to glue, put my glue there. right. Get that going. Oh, I love that. That's super cute. What do you guys think? Dirt or fence? Both. It's fun to do 2 cards so that you can change it up. Super cute. Okay. Now we need to make our sentiment, and I have die cut this sentiment for us already. Okay, here's the outside. So we're going to lay the outside down first, and then tuck the inside into it. So I want glue only on this half because I'm just going to have this half hanging over. So again, a little bit of glue. And again, for you guys, I'd like watching paint dry. But I wanted you to see everything. I wanted you to see how it goes together because I know it's intimidating, but the end product is so much fun. Okay. Make sure I'm on camera here. And I'm just lining up these points to make sure that they're centered. Okay. And I will tell you, some of these intricate die cuts over the years have been kind of frustrating to me, so I don't always get the intricate ones anymore because there are so many little pieces to pop out. Well, they have figured that out. Stampin' Up! Has figured out that when you do the intricate die cuts, the inside cuts are wider, at least with this set. This set is not frustrating at all to die cut and use your brush tip to get it out. Most of the time it just all falls out because the cuts are thicker and they're more open. I hope that makes sense. So I really just love the way that this set die cuts. I just love this set, period. It's really cute. So, okay, so when you die cut this piece, an oval automatically die cuts out of the middle. Well, I have die cut this in white, stamped it, and colored it so that I can get my center white. And then we're just going to, again, put glue on half of that. And make sure it's centered. I like using glue for this part too so that you can make sure, because it's a snug fit since it cuts it right out with the die. So that makes it perfect. Okay. Awesome sauce. Oh, look what I didn't do. I'm going to have to cut around that because I got it too close to my edge, so I can't close this side or it's going to bend. So I need to make sure I take my snips and snip that, or take this off and move it, which I probably can do that. Probably do that easier. Just move it. So word to the wise. when you're adding your things in here, make sure they are inside the score line. So I will rectify that later. Okay, and now all we have left to do is I have a piece of cherry cobbler measuring 3.5 by 8 1/4. And then I have a piece of white that was 3 1/4 by 8 that I just stamped the fence and colored it in with my blends, the stone wall, I guess it is, and colored it for something on the back. And that's all we're going to do is add that piece to the back, and then we will be done. Wasn't that bad, was it? Mistakes and all. How about that? Okay. And there you have it. Cute, fun cube card. So they're really big, so I don't know if I can get them both in the camera. But I'm curious, which one's your favorite? Which one do you like best? Okay, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Have a wonderful day and Happy New Year. Bye-bye. Oh, one side thought, if you're still there, please like and subscribe to my channel and like this video by hitting the thumbs up down below. Thanks. Bye.